welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are recapping the quarterfinals and predicting the semifinals of the 2023 Leagues Cup. Reacciones de la cuartos de final y predicción de las semifinales de la Leagues Cup 2023. I did pretty good in quarterfinals predictions, except for forgetting Monterrey always finds a way to win. But other than that, pretty good. Starting off with all the final whistles in order, how each match ended. The Central quarterfinal, the Central regional final, whatever you want to call it. Nashville SC 5, Minnesota United FC 0. Nashville SC 5, Minnesota United FC 0. I was right on this one. Nashville dominated Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota went down a man, but Nashville at home, they broke out. 5 goals. Very tough team. Nashville made Minnesota look like crap because Minnesota's been good throughout the tournament. Yeah, they've went down a man 3 times. But this time they finally paid for it. They went down a man against Puebla. They somehow kicked Puebla's butts. They go down a man against Toluca. They win on penalties. They really don't pay for it. They should have lost then. Nashville, they go down a man, and Nashville's like, nah, we won't leave this to chance. We're going to look like we are going to be the most unbeatable team of them all. We just beat America. They had a little bit of a buffer, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, we believe we're going to win against Minnesota pretty dominantly. Then they were up a man. They're like, must prove it now. They did it. 5 different goals. 5 goals from 5 different scores. Damn. I was right about that. 1-0 on my predictions. South quarterfinal. The South regional final. Inter Miami CF 4. Charlotte FC 0. Inter Miami CF 4. Charlotte FC 0. Again, I was right about this. Miami pretty much sleepwalked through this game. They got an early penalty. They scored it. Robert Taylor scored. Messi scored. And own goal. Yes, own goal. Campano was running onto it well, though. But, again, 4 goals from Miami. Charlotte didn't really play well offensively. But Miami very well, but also played defense very well. They played a lot more tempo. They controlled the game, unlike the Dallas game. I think the midfield starting Kremashki instead of Gomez. That was the right play. And you could tell, you could absolutely tell that starting Kremashki, even though it was in Miami, but starting Kremashki over Gomez was the right move. Miami looked a lot more comfortable on the ball. They looked a lot more comfortable defensively. And there you go. Charlotte had no answer at all. Miami dominated the game. They walked through it. They win. I was right about that. 2-0 on my predictions. Inter Miami are your South regional champions. Nashville, of course, is your Central regional champions because technically 4 different regions on the bracket going. Each have a representative in the semifinals. It's sort of like Final Four, NCAA basketball, regional champions, then the Final Four, then the national championship. You know how it works if you watch college basketball. Everybody watches March Madness. I'm pretty sure of that. I think you understand. East quarterfinal. The East regional final. Either way. Philadelphia Union 2, Querétaro FC 1. Philadelphia Union 2, Querétaro FC 1. Philly struggled. I was right about Philly winning. I had them winning this game. I had them going to the semifinal, being the Eastern regional champions. I had them doing that. But damn, if they made it look hard. Let's put it like that. Damn, they made it look hard. I mean, geez. Querétaro. You pasted them 2 weeks ago, give or take, in the group stage. You come back around, even without Daniel Gazdag, at home again, you would think you'd pace them again. What was the difference? Maybe Querétaro played it a lot more tight, considering it was a knockout match. Here's the thing, though. One, it's still Querétaro. Second of all, Philly is still arguably the better team. Third of all, you already pasted them once. And I think that was Philly dominating, not some, hey, Querétaro made 5 mistakes and they paid for them all type thing. No. Querétaro, they've played well in the knockout stage. I'm giving them their credit. They've always found a way to play well in this knockout stage. They found a way to get through. They beat Xolos. They got in. They won against Pumas. 1-0 Sepulveda. A penalty shootout win against the Revs, and they almost beat Philly. They drew it, and they honestly got robbed. If we're being honest, if we're keeping it a buck, Querétaro got robbed. That second goal was offside. It should have went to a shootout, and honestly, it could have went either way. Philly robbed Querétaro. I think that second goal by Donovan was offside. I legit think Querétaro got robbed. And I'm not one to say that this tournament's completely biased to MLS teams. I think there is a favoritism because of all the rules. I mean, of course, the way it was set up. Of course, there's going to be a slight tilt toward the MLS teams. But that was a steal. Querétaro should have at least went to pens. And they didn't. So, 3-0 on my predictions. Regrettably so, but I was right. 3-0 on my quarterfinal predictions. And finally, the one I got wrong. The West quarterfinal, the West regional final. LAFC 2, CF Monterrey 3. LAFC 2, 3. CF Monterrey. I was wrong because LAFC had a 2-0 lead going into the half. You would think they would hold on to that, even though they had 25% possession going into the half. At the end of the game, they had 30% possession. Listen to me when I say this. That soft penalty that was given, which the more I think about it, yes, it was a late tackle by Kellen Acosta. It's a pen. I agree with Herc Gomez. He said it, and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's right. That's a pen. Soft, but it's still a pen. He was late. It's a pen. Acosta, it's a penalty. Canales scores. It's 2-1. Jordi Cortizo comes on. You want to know who the real game changer was in that game? Jordi Cortizo. I mean, yeah, Sergei Palencia got burned twice, okay? Like freaking burnt toast on opposite sides of the box that allowed the next 2 goals. But Jordi Cortizo, if he doesn't take that shot that leads to Funes Mori tapping in that rebound and getting his team through and scoring a goal that I didn't expect him to score, Monterrey would have went to penalties, and I don't know if LAFC would have won on penalties, but they had their biggest players still on. They didn't take off Bouanga. They took off Bogus. I don't think they took off Biuk. They still had John McCarthy, who won a shootout for them in MLS Cup. They could have won the shootout. They may have still lost the shootout, but in the end, Monterrey found a way to win, to come back, rush back, take all the possession they earned, and turn it into a win. And I respect it. Jordi Cortizo, I think I said he was man of the match last night. I may be wrong, but I think I did, saying if he didn't have that shot, it wouldn't have been 3-2 Monterrey. We don't know what they would have done in a penalty shootout. So I think in the end, I still had Jordi Cortizo man of the match. But Jordi Cortizo is very underrated, and they need him. So, yeah. So, when it comes to my quarterfinal predictions, I was 3-1, 3 out of 4 right on predictions, which isn't bad compared to the last couple of rounds. But LAFC did make me look bad. I almost was 4-0. 30 minutes later, I was 3-1. But that ain't bad, I guess. So, semifinal predictions. Semifinal 1, which technically is being played second, but this is the way I have the bracket read when I wrote these out. But still, the Central champions, Nashville SC, hosting the West Region champions, CF Monterrey. Nashville at Geodis Park versus Monterrey. Nashville did. Now, here's my thing about this match. Nashville did beat America on penalties. They made America look mid. And yes, Monterrey, up until that LAFC game, definitely looked questionable. And yes, Nashville's a very tough side. But a comeback like that for Monterrey, I don't think they're going to go back to scoring a goal and trying to ride that out. I don't think so. If they score early, it'll probably be a 1-0 win for Monterrey or a 2-1 win. It'll be a close game because Nashville's a very tough side. They're a very well-defensive, drilled side. They'll get a goal. I think 2-1 is probably the likely score line either way. Penalties are very likely in this game as well. But in my eyes, I don't think Monterrey are going to go back to the team who barely found goals after that win against LAFC. It either really hurts them and turns them into dust and they had their moment, or it pushes them forward and says, you know what, we finally started to find our goals without Berterame. Canales carried us. Have a very good Cantera kid. Jordi Cortizo, maybe he'll start. Rogelio Funes Mori found his goal. And he's been a Tronco for about 4 years now. Maybe he could start finding his goals again. And being the Funes Mori who's the goal-scoring leader in Monterrey history. To me, personally, I think it's more of the latter than the former. I think Monterrey are going to push on. Nashville's a good team. It's going to be a 2-1 win for Monterrey. Nashville's going to fight. I don't think lightning strikes a third time. They got lucky to be here. They beat the best team in the league on penalties in Cincinnati. Cincinnati sort of played with their food and sort of let them stay alive way too long, and it bit them in the ass. And then they beat America, who, to me, has a very good team, who I think is a very likely team to win one of the Apertura or Clausura, and I think they will. I don't think what happened here changes that. They will win one of the Liga MX titles this year with Quiñones and Martin. Maybe more Clausura because of the injuries, but if they're still high enough in the Liga, once the Liga starts, they could still win the Apertura. I'm not betting against them. Lightning struck twice. Minnesota went down a man, but Nashville I thought was going to win that. They were the favorite there. That's not a lightning strike. Lightning strikes thrice against Monterrey. I don't see it. CF Monterrey wins 2-1. They move on to the final. Nashville knocked to the third place game. Monterrey will go on the road to face the winner of Semifinal 2, Philadelphia Union, the Eastern Region champion, versus Inter Miami CF, the South Region champion. Miami, because of their worst record, goes to Philadelphia. Philadelphia will host. Philadelphia, of course, top of the East last year. Was in the Supporter Shield running, but that's not the same team. Philadelphia right now, in my book, is a very weird team. They're a good team, but sometimes they don't look good enough. Sometimes they look like, what's going on here? Like, you're good, you're winning, but you should probably be losing. Philadelphia, without Gazdag, is very, very toothless. If Gazdag doesn't play, which is very likely with a turnaround, or he doesn't play the whole game, I think Miami can win this. I think Miami will win this. Miami's hot right now. Philly is vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable right now. All their knockout games, 2 penalty shootout wins, a 0-0 draw, shootout win over DC, a 1-1 draw, shootout win over Red Bulls, and they almost blew it. They had to come back to beat DC. They almost blew the shootout against Red Bulls. A 2-1 late win against Querétaro when they should have went to penalties, and they sort of stole the game. It's been bare minimum for Philadelphia, and Miami, ironically enough, right now might be the team that can punish them the most. Philly has to pull their head out of their ass, pretty much, right now. Because yes, Miami has a horrible defense, or they have some defensive holes, but I think that Dallas game, good thing about it is it showed that they need to be tighter defensively, and they looked a lot tighter defensively. Even though Charlotte looked like they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, I'm going to say Miami's defense helped that be the case. Miami played a very good defensive game last night. So they could play another tight game against Philly. And Philly, Andre Blake's going to have to stand on his head if you want it to be tight margins once again. I don't know if Andre Blake's ever faced a dude like Messi. And I think Andre Blake has had some rough times against Joseph Martinez too. And Robert Taylor, well, the dude I think who has a name that sounds like he's from Alabama, who's actually Finnish, is having the time of his life right now. So, you know what? Miami, 3-1. I'm going to go bold. Like I'm Wonder Kid, I'm going bold. 3-1 Miami. 3-1 Inter Miami. Philadelphia just, without Gazdag, they're not winning. Even with him, Miami's still going to fight. That may be a penalty shootout win instead, but I'm going to say Gazdag at best plays 30 minutes. And I think by the time that happens, the damage will be done overall. So, for me, Philadelphia loses to Miami. Philadelphia goes to the third place game. So, with that being said, my predicted third place and final from these predictions. The third place game on the 19th, Philadelphia Union hosts Nashville SC. The winner wins a CONCACAF Champions Cup berth. The final, Inter Miami CF hosts CF Monterrey. Whether that be at Hard Rock or Dry Pink Stadium, I have no idea. But they will be hosting Monterrey. Miami is in their own backyard on the 19th to win the Leagues Cup and try to get that round of 16 bye in the Champions Cup. But both teams already be in. They're playing for that round of 16 bye and the Leagues Cup. So, there you go. Monterrey versus Miami final. Those are my predictions. Should be interesting. So with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share it with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you on Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday for the live watch-alongs of both, and I'll get to do both. It is Inter Miami, Philadelphia Union versus Inter Miami, then Nashville SC versus CF Monterrey. I'll review Nashville versus Monterrey. And there you go. But I'll be live for both on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your weekend and a wonderful Monday. I'll see you on Tuesday. I got to take a little bit of a break. A little bit of a breather. So I guess it's good they played everything on Friday. So with that being said, I'm going to take this opportunity to take a breather. A little bit. Before we get the second half of this month going, which is still be busy, and then early September. So, with that being said, I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.